Hi, I'm Stephen Haddon. Today we're here to look at the new release from TRU Ball Archery called the T Rex. It's a thumb release aid, it's a 4-finger release aid, and we're going to compare it to some other TRU Ball releases. So to start off with, in the packet, this is what it looks like. So it's just like that, nice and close. So the shape itself looks very much like the TRU Ball blade, and very similar to the other TRU Ball releases. It comes with some spare D-loop. There is no Allen keys in the packet. So there are no Allen keys for adjustment in the packet. So it's just the release aid and just a piece of D-loop. So it's got a strap here for obviously putting on your wrist if you like that. I don't know why you do, but okay, so let's first look at it. There is no cocking mechanism on this release aid to start with. So the first thing I did was look at this little thing on the side here and go lock. So I'm like trying to do this to try and get this thing here to move. The only way I can find to get this thing to move was to push it close like so. So that's clearly the mechanism for locking it, and that's to trigger it. So locking, closing, locking, firing. Now the trigger itself is very, very fine. You've got adjustment down here for travel and there for the sensitivity on the trigger, which is the same as the TRU Ball blade. So with the other TRU Ball releases, the cheaper models, the Fang and the TRU Ball Max Pro, you do not have that adjustability. So this is very much like it's like a cheap version of the blade in my opinion. So we're going to try this, but first off I'm going to compare it to the other TRU Ball releases. This is a TRU Ball blade. You can see the similarities, but with the blade, you cock it by pressing it in there. With this, you close it there. Noise-wise, probably the blades are probably a little bit noisier, but I don't know. There's not a lot of noise. So this has got more of a ting in it. But the overall shape and the way it kind of looks is similar. Now this is an alloy, this is a stainless steel. The jaw is stainless steel, where this is alloy. So this is clearly a cheaper design. You can see this is stainless, this is alloy. So the model down from this, the price on the T Rex in Australia retails for around $200. In America retails for $135. The blade in Australia will retail between around $350 and $400. Now the model down from the T Rex is the Max Pro 4. Now this release aid is really popular in Australia. Retails for about 135 Australian dollars, so I'm guessing that's around 100 American dollars. So the T Rex is a fair bit more expensive. Now let's just grab it out and I'll show you. So to start off with, the grip itself, the shape is almost identical between them. So the shapes themselves on the grip, to me the Max Pro feels a little bit smaller in the hand. The T Rex feels a little bit larger in the hand, but it's only by a little bit. So this feels smaller. This has got a rotating head. So for when you twist your hand, the jaws are still basically parallel to the string. Now with this, to open the jaws, you press the trigger and the jaws open. You can see with the T Rex, it's a sear mechanism, so when you press it, it springs open. With the Max Pro, the more you press it, the more it opens. So it's a gradual system, so as you're pushing it, it's opening. So to me, they're quite different products. I find this really popular with kids because it's easy to, put on the D-loop, keep your thumb off the trigger. It's not a sensitive trigger on the Max Pro 4. It's quite a heavy trigger. This is a sensitive trigger. To me, it's very similar to the blade. So let's shoot them both and see what I think. As far as value, So to start off with, I'm going to start off with the blade release aid. This is a release aid which is used by many of the top archers around the world. The trigger itself is very light, very adjustable. It's a nice release aid. It comes in two sizes, large or medium. So basically, if you've got the larger hands, this is available for you. The T-Rex only comes in its one standard size, which is kind of the standard size for an average male hand. And I've just grabbed the wrong one. So to me, it feels about the same size as the normal blade to hold on to. Now, if you don't like this little thing dangling, which I particularly don't like, you can simply cut that thing off. Or if you don't want to cut it off, you can actually just undo the tie and take it off. Okay, so the first question is loading this release aid. I'm going to load it using my thumb. It's a little bit more awkward, but still pretty quick, as you can see. So we're going to do it here on the bow. I'll do it up close. See the drawer open. I put the little thing through, and I just push my thumb onto it. Now, to me, when I did the review on the Fang fell off. So lots of people like to leave their releases on the D loop, especially kids when they're getting ready. This release aid, you can do it. Look, to me, the release aid feels wider in the hand, thicker, but it's comfortable. You can tell that this is a lower quality alloy than the blade, but the shot itself is smooth, the trigger's light, the loading is not a problem. So for me, I really can't pick the difference between the $400 release and the $200 release. I mean, yeah, look, I can tell the difference. One's got stainless steel, one's got better quality alloys, but that's visual. The actual feel of the release to physically shoot, the feel of the Robin Hood and the arrow. The feel of the release aid feels great. It's a really nice release aid to shoot. It's soft. I cannot hear any noise when I'm shooting it. So for hunting, this is part of the TRU Ball Bone Collector range, which is part of their hunting range. I cannot hear any noise when I shoot it. So you're getting a hunting release aid which performs like the target release aid. Just one more shot. Look, I'm really liking the feel of the release aid, and I understand why hunters will like this release aid. I think this release aid, I think the Max Pro 4 will outsell this release aid purely on price point. So most beginners getting into the sport are going to be price sensitive, and a release aid at $200 is going to be too much. But if you're a hunter and money is, I'm going to say, no object, so you're shooting better quality gear, this is a thumb release aid that you'd seriously look at as an alternative to your wrist release aid. It feels nice, it's comfortable with 4 fingers. Hunters are generally pulling back more weight, so they probably prefer the 4 finger over the 3. for target archery, the 3-finger release aid is far more popular than the 4. Look, I cannot tell the difference between this and the blade to physically shoot. So if you're at a tournament and you're shooting this and another person's shooting the blade, I can't pick the difference. I'm shooting quite well with it. It's very sensitive. The loading is not a problem in my opinion. It's probably a little bit more awkward, but I'm just as quick with this versus pressing down here. So pressing there versus pressing down there. Look, I think it's a pretty good product. The question is always price, how the price will compare in the market. But it's pretty good. I'm just going to show you one last thing on this release before I finish. So on the TRU Ball, here it's smooth. So I'll try and zoom in. And there they've got these little lines. They're meant to create some grip. So there's some little lines in there. They're meant to create grip. You can't feel them when you're actually holding it, but it stops the release aid from being slippery. I'll just grab the blade. The blade has the same thing. It's smooth there and little lines here. So they basically copied the blade design to come up with this T Rex. So 200 versus 400, higher quality, I'm going to say lower quality, and that's up to the consumer then to decide which one they prefer. But the actual feel of the release aid feels pretty good. So go and check it out at your local archery shop. Oh, and before you make your adjustments, I'm going to mention this little lock thing here. You've got to loosen that screw and that screw there, which is holding that Allen key and that Allen key in place. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. The more you shoot, the better you'll shoot, and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Thanks for watching. Bye.